lot of people are tired that they will give it their all. People are crying because people are tired. You not coming out to vote is an avenue for rigging. People are going to cloak themselves with the sheep's clothing to look like they're part of the flock. I mean, Ekiti that they said gave this man votes, they protested and said, we didn't vote this man, so how? A lot of people that aren't even used to voting and don't care about politics. Prior to this time, I said, Nigeria and politics, I'm done for. But somebody made me come alive. I had to wash off the dust from myself and say, I'm ready to do this because I want change. Nigerians are suffering, Forget that we easily laugh. Nobody said the process was going to be any easy. I mean, let's be honest.
People are clamoring. Give us instructions. If you say come out on the streets, Oga, we are out on the streets.
I mean, so that goes a lot to tell you that he's putting hope. I said the judiciary at this point, I don't think is the last hope of the common man. P2B is. We're trusting this process because it's worth the wait. But then, you not coming out to vote is an avenue for rigging. You're going to be giving people the chance to rig on a platter of gold. Let's come out and vote. It's very important.
Welcome to Smoke Room, the show about everything and anything. I'm your host, Apweke. And with me today, we have someone that's been here before to discuss the election. Here with me is
Chinechere.
Hi.
Hi.
It's good to have you back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
How do you feel?
Contrary to how I thought I would feel, I feel good, hopeful,
Good.
calm, peaceful.
So it's been 5 days since the election.
Actually.
How do you feel about the Saturday elections? How did it go in your polling unit?
The polling unit, it went well. Just minor hiccups, but it went well. It was peaceful. It was fine. At first, INEC officials at some point, they wanted to misbehave. They came late, but people were happy. Everyone was okay. People were clamoring to, vote. But after a while, towards the end, they wanted to misbehave. But, people aligned them back to the mandate.
Held them accountable.
Exactly. We had to tell them to do right by us.
I think generally we would describe the air in the country during the election as peaceful. But in certain states, there was a few hiccups. Are you aware of any?
Yes. Actually, I don't know if I would say the general election was peaceful because a lot of people didn't have it peaceful. Majority didn't have it peaceful.
Really?
Yes. In some eastern states like Enugu, we had it peaceful. But a lot of people didn't have it peaceful because of the snatching of ballot box, paid thugs, exactly.
Yes.
So people even protesting because they couldn't vote. Yeah. I had a family friend of mine that the beaver couldn't read her card and she had to try again. It was on the third try that it went through and they said, her name is on the beaver. And the worst part is that you see your face on the board where they put the pictures and everything, but then they tell you that the beaver is not reading your card. Then other people, my friend's polling unit in Lagos, thugs came and they couldn't vote until later on. Some people couldn't come back to vote at some point. Other people were hurt. Even there was a picture that was trending of a lady that
was stabbed
they busted her eye.
Or something.
I mean, but Nigerians were determined to vote. But then the people in power were determined to not let Nigerians vote. But we were determined to vote. And the beautiful thing is that in as much as all of this, people voted. Even in Anambra, there was rain. There was rain in Anambra, and people were still on the line waiting to vote. It was beautiful, actually. It was really beautiful
because people are serious about change.
People are tired of suffering. People are tired of a bad name. People want something different, and not different in a bad light. Not the kind of change Buhari preached to us. People are ready for a positive change, something that is impactful in people's lives. I saw a video of a lady that was crying. Someone was doing this interview by the road and asked her how the elections were. She was so angry that she started crying, saying she's tired, that she knows the sacrifices she has made to feed and to make sure her family feeds. So people are tired. People have gone through a lot. And we know as a country, we make light of certain situations as a coping mechanism. But then at some point, you have it up to here. You're tired. But then we're hopeful.
Hopeful is the word, but I don't know how long that hope would carry us.
As much as we breathe, there's still hope.
So after the election, I don't know about you, but like in my polling unit, we stayed to count the votes and to make sure that it was uploaded. Apparently, there was supposed to be a website where you see the results in real time.
Yeah.
Now we have the masses, the people that came to vote that stayed behind, holding INEC accountable to make sure that the results that are being uploaded are actually the accurate ones. But then, subsequently, after the election, it felt at some point I even had to like take a break because it felt like I was witnessing magic in real time.
I was telling someone that Nigeria is this huge skit because things that happen in this country, it behoves me. it's actually beyond
It's funny, but at the same time, it's not.
That's it. It's funny because it doesn't feel real. It's not something you expect that happens in a country, and you know that this country, we're not blind. You know, the weird thing is that the way people act, they act like Nigerians are blind. They act like we're not seeing what's happening.
We don't have thinking faculty.
I mean, this Adeleke now, what they are using against him is that the beavers, the results uploaded, and the number of accredited voters is not matching up. So they're trying to, it's not tallying. They transmitted the results through the beavers. This thing we're asking for is not something that is far-fetched. It's not something that is foreign to them. INEC, you are aware of this thing. It's something that you've done before. You did it before, just how many months ago with the election for Adeleke. And now it's in court. But this thing was transmitted. It was transmitted. So the one that has to do with the entire nation, why are you transmitting it via...
Did you see the papers online with scratch?
And then you said that any cancellation at Abokpa, a woman mistakenly imputed for LP 800 and something votes, that our votes, so she put it under NNPP. So the issue was that they were saying that any cancellation on the original paper is not going to be used.
I mean, in banks, you can't cancel your checks or whatever.
You have to sign by the side. And it depends on the kind of mistake you make. But this one is different because how are we going to know that it's not you rigging? So the problem that day was, what are we going to do about this? So people were asking, like, her videos were everywhere. She gets, but we're seeing results
that accepted results that people
are saying these things are wrong. You know why this is annoying? I don't know why we're even saying that these things are cancelled. Why are you using it? We're not meant to be having that discussion at all. We're meant to be voting, and these things are being transmitted, it's being recorded. I mean, we're in a technological age. We're not in the Stone Age. We're not in the period when Nigeria writes anymore.
This is something 2 tech bros or 3 tech bros can handle for Nigeria.
So why is
no
it happening?
Charge.
And the thing is, they can do it. They've done this thing. It's not like they've not done it, but they did not want to do this thing.
Even when they did it, like, they've proven to be incompetent.
They are incompetent on purpose. It's not a mistake. It's not something that is born out of,
I don't know.
It's not ignorance. They are fully aware of what they are doing. That is why when people were speaking up, people were saying, this thing is not the way it's meant to be. You guys are meant to do better. You guys are meant to cancel this election. You guys are not doing right. They all
blatantly
deaf ears.
I mean, on live television, a woman told the
that is not tallying with what she has.
That her agent told her that he was forced to write that number at gunpoint.
And you said
nothing. And you guys moved, like, for some reason, we're able to move past. Isn't that a reason already?
It wasn't handled. You know why this thing is obvious that there was a plan? In my polling units, before we started collating the numbers to now upload and make sure that everything was fine, when we were done, prior to the collation, when people were almost done voting, we were counting votes for other units. Because in my center, we had other units, several polling units. So we saw online someone saying that the plan INEC has is at the end of the voting and counting that they're not going to upload the results. It's not going to be transmitted. Yes, that they would have this whole thing of server is down, come to the units. And we thought probably it's false news until it started happening in my polling unit. And then I was like, what's going on over here? That's when people were saying, stay back in your units, ensure. At Dental, they disenfranchised a lot of people because people voted as late as 5 in the morning. The next day, early in the morning, because INEC officials came by 6. There was an obvious plan to rig. When in my polling units, it was time to upload the results, they were saying the server is down. Some of them said that they don't have data. How much was budgeted for this election?
293 something
billion.
Billion, not million.
It was not million.
Billion naira. And then INEC didn't at some point thought to try out this server that is suddenly down on
there was the server. How is there no provision for data for the INEC officials? Because why are you asking me?
Because in my ward, it was a friend of mine that went to go and pick them up. They didn't come early. As late as 11 a.m.
Nigeria is beyond
INEC hadn't come.
Nigeria is beyond me. In my polling units, I offered to on my data and hotspot the guy. So at some point, the guy now said, no, that he doesn't want data, that we should shift, that we're blocking him. We shifted, and at some point, he now started saying that, in fact, that they can't transmit it, that they need to go to. And I said, is this thing actually happening before my eyes? We now said no. Because when we're there, what they do is they count the results, the
physical paper
yes.
Now.
After counting it, they tally it with what is on the, to make sure it's valid.
And
then everything was valid, and there wasn't any invalid.
Issues, yes.
Exactly, everything was perfect. So no overvoting, no undervoting, all of that. Everything was perfect because they also recorded invalid votes and everything. So everything was perfect. So the only thing remaining was transmit these results. Because the reason why people use beavers is it curbs rigging. But the reason they didn't want to use it the way they use in Osun State was because they had plans to rig. The INEC chairman, prior to this election, they sent out an official memo, which is making rounds now because people are saying that they will still rig, saying that no, that there will be no way this election will be rigged, that these results must be transmitted via the beavers. And then we're telling you, on that particular day, you would even expect that most people that will speak up are people from the Labour Party. But even the PDP agents are saying these things are wrong numbers. Make sure you're going to give us this result via the transmission from the beavers. Why am I going to the server and I'm not seeing the uploaded numbers? To tell you the clownery of these people, a lady's picture was uploaded as a result. Is that the point we are in Nigeria? What sort of clownery? What do they take the citizens for? This is broad daylight rigging. What's the essence of making us come out to vote?
Because they feel like at the end of the day, we can't do, like, our efforts won't amount to much. They are the cabals, they are the ones in power, so they can manipulate things. But I feel like Nigeria is ready for change.
It's a psychological game. They believe if they play the card off, you can't do anything. With time, people will start believing it. But if you don't believe it, people came out in their numbers and they didn't expect it. The turnout was amazing.
To be Twitter,
you know.
And then
we're not meant to have a structure, but then we came out in our numbers, and it's not something they anticipated. And because they didn't anticipate it, they still had to go all out with the rigging. At first, the rigging was to make him an obvious winner, but then they changed the rigging from the whole make him an obvious winner to ensure he secures 25% in all the units I was getting from Enugu. Barely anybody voted for APC.
In my unit, nobody voted for APC and PDP.
I counted 4 units in mind that what am I saying for? Because there were like 13. Almost in all my units. I even have the pictures. Even pictures of the snaps. Oh, nobody voted for this. Like just 3 voted, 1 for APC, 1 for PDP. Then there was another one that had 2 for PDP, 1 for NNPP. So where are these numbers coming from? So what they're doing is 25% to Ghana, 25% from all the states they are meant to get it from. And when rigging, reduce that of Labour Party so that they won't get the 25%. Because how am I winning in terms of how many people voted for me? But then I'm losing based on I'm not getting 25% quota. Make it make sense. And then the people represented as other people, because people had this surge of voting for Labour Party, no matter who it is. So other people are winning the senatorial and the House of Rep,
and then you
and
tell
then
me
the
that
presidential candidate that
election,
made the mandate start in the first place is not winning. Make it make sense. We are not dullards, for crying out loud. It's exhausting because we see these things, we are not oblivious of these things, but then they make it seem like we are not alive, we're not seeing these things, we're just a part of this big show, you know. We're not. It's exhausting. It's mentally
absolutely understand. So after the election, the rigging, the waiting for 3 days and 3 nights for the results. These people announced their election result by 4:20 a.m. in the morning.
They not announced the election result. They gave their verdicts.
Yes, it's a better word.
Announcements is when you announce something, you want people to know. Announcement is like public service announcement. You want everyone to know that see what's going on. That wasn't an announcement. We've been waiting for this result. They told us that they'll tell us who our president is by Monday. Yeah. Last 4 years, by Monday, we knew. Monday morning, they announced it.
Yes.
Around, I think, 9 or so. I can't remember the exact time. But they announced it that, Buhari won the election. Fast forward to 2023 with the help of technology that should make everything easier and everything. Nigerians have been waiting. You know, they say that the thief comes at night. So they decided these people will be sleeping, so they will not riot. They will not come and kill us here as we are collating this thing. Let's announce it sharp, sharp. Because tell me why I'm sleeping and I wake up in the morning on the 1st of March. These people but are wicked. On the 1st of March, and you're giving me an announcement that somebody that is not meant to be in power is in power.
The thing is that despite all the contentions that we were seeing online, ballot boxes that were smashed, people that were disenfranchised, the people that were on national television telling us that the result you're calling is wrong because the collation officer said he signed it at gunpoint.
That's the thing now.
Outside all these problems, they still were able to turn a blind eye to it, to come and tell us that.
That's the point. They initially planned on turning a blind eye to all of this. That's why announcing, if you can tell someone that, see, this is wrong, and the person is like, you're disrupting our
meeting. Making noise.
You're making noise. Who are you to now tell them the time that will tell you who your president is? This even was I saw something online, so it was like that Tinubu was not made the president, that he's now the head of his company, and he was elected by his company people, INEC. Because I don't see how you expect to announce to Nigerians that by this time, 4 a.m. is not even an official hour. I mean, you people will take breaks. Take another break. Give us some respect. And announce it on time. Who actually, when it's not a state of emergency.
By 4 a.m. watching
when it's not a state of emergency, you're calling us and telling us that our new president is so, 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 and so.
By 4 a.m.
By 4 a.m. By 4 a.m.
Well, it's even funny, like, even looking around, because nobody is celebrating. I haven't seen videos online of people jumping up and down, Tinubu won. Well, if anything, it feels like we're mourning.
Someone said something that the people that went to the polling unit to vote for Tinubu, that it's like they didn't go with their phones, because everywhere online we're seeing results from our polling units showing that we voted this man in power. We voted him, give us back our mandates. But nobody's saying anything from the other camps. They're not saying anything. They don't have anything to counter what we're saying. They're not even giving us a listening ear. They're not responding to us. They're probably using jokes like, is our guy that will still win. Nobody's saying anything. It's telling you a lot that these people know what they are doing. People are mourning because we know we didn't put this person in power. And they feel this way because a lot of people fought political apathy and voter apathy this period.
To come out.
Like I was a first-time voter.
She gets me too.
So I was even posting his Little Miss first-time voter. So I was really excited. So a lot of people, I saw lots of Little Miss first-time voter. A lot of people that aren't even used to voting and don't care about politics. Prior to this time, I said Nigeria and politics, I'm done for. But somebody made me come alive. I had to wash off the dust from myself and say, I'm ready to do this because I want change. So a lot of people are tired. Exactly. A lot of people are tired that they will give it their all. People are crying because people are tired. Nigerians are suffering, you know. Forget that we easily laugh. You call somebody, forget the usual, hey, how far, what's up? I'm fine. Tell the person, no, calm down. I just wanted to check up on you. How are you? The next thing you hear is, no, I'm fine. No, is,
you get it.
A lot is happening. I just get tired, but we move. People are going through a lot. And in the midst of this, people brought out their energy, their strength. A lady was about fainting in my polling unit, and she was like that she has to go. Everybody was like, I better go. Because she was still at the back. People were like, everybody in front, shit, make way. This girl must vote. P2B needs this vote. The lady was like, thank you. They carried her to the front.
Units. They prioritized the sick. They prioritize
the disabled as well.
I was surprised. I have a video of this disabled guy, but he came out that he wanted.
Even in my polling unit, and old people too.
Like they allowed shakes, but he knew what he wanted to do. He knew who he wanted to vote. So immediately they started. Like the people that couldn't walk. There was a woman that came with a swollen leg. There was someone that came with a baby. What was your reaction yesterday morning when you heard the election results?
What was my reaction? First off, I woke up to, felicitations, happy new month and everything. Ready to type, the whole regular broadcast messages sent to people. I think yesterday was the first time ever. I've never sent that. I've not sent happy new month to people. And I was so confused as I brought on my phone to start sending messages. I was seeing Tinubu announced. It came up as a notification. Like news headline, Tinubu. I said, no, Fashide. Notifications are now coming to my phone. And I went to check. I saw it. I wanted to cry. I wanted to say, no, we're going to be fine. Hope. I had a rush of emotions. I feel like my emotions were marbled. It wasn't defined. I was not sad. I wasn't happy. I wasn't excited. I was sober. That's the word.
Sober.
I was sober. At first I wanted to cry. And I said, oh my, I've cried finished. From the period they started rigging, then with the whole violence, I wept. I didn't cry, I wept. So yesterday, I didn't have the tears anymore. They weren't flowing. I said, I've cried enough. I don't know how to feel. And I know a lot of people felt downcast. I know a lot of people were in pain. But I chose to have hope. After I saw the news.
Around what time did you see the news?
I saw the news by 7 because I felt bad. I usually wake up by around 4 or 5. So I woke up early around 2, then slept back. I woke up again by 5. After morning prayers and all of that, I went back to sleep, then woke up again. Then I saw it. I barely even slept because I don't know, I just woke up. I felt like I've not told my mom Happy New Month. My mom was the first person I called. To my greatest chagrin, I saw this news. What helped me calm down was that I remembered that the last thing I posted was that people should stay calm and be positive. Then I went to P2B's page and he hadn't said anything. Then I went to Street Barrister, seeing where P2B was saying prior to the election that everybody should be calm, no protest, that be happy. And I said, wait, though. Why am I feeling bad when my Oga is saying calm down? I said, I'm obedient. I have to be calm. It's difficult because my first thought process was, what the hell is going on? I was like, I couldn't process it. I just couldn't. And I'm not even sure I fully processed it. But then I had to tell myself to be calm. I had to look for things to reassure me. I had to remind myself that I have to be calm. Because I called my mom and then it strengthened me because I was like, Mommy, how are you? Happy New Month. She's like, my baby, my mommy. Because she calls me her mom. She said, my mommy. And I told her, how are you? She now said, I'm fine. I'm hopeful. Because I don't even know when my mom sleeps, because that woman doesn't sleep. She now reposted, I'm hopeful, everybody. I'm like, Tiayin, if my own mother is calm, who am I not to be calm? But then I purposefully abstained from social media because a lot of people were posting sad. My cousin posted that he's so sad. I think he was the only person I actually sent a message to, wishing him a happy new month, because I had to use it as a, I called him, he didn't pick. I called him, he didn't, and I got worried. And then I sent him a message telling him that he shouldn't be sad, because he posted that he can't remember the last time he cried. But this moved him to tears. And I could just imagine this full-fledged dimpa feeling this way. My brother was so heartbroken. He was so sad. Everybody was just so angry. And I said, I resist this emotion. You all, please.
Stay away.
Stay away. I want to feel like I'm still here. I want to believe. I really want to believe. And I do believe, do you get? I even said, God, I beg, help my unbelief. Because a part of me, yeah, obviously, I mean, they announced that he's president. Whoa, a part of me understands that this means danger. But then I was like, I choose not to see that. I choose to see that these are shenanigans. Hey, Gucci, they will calm down. Do you get? So it hurts me, but then there were mixed feelings. They were all marbled into this one emotion that eventually gave me hope.
So what would you say is, what do you think is the current mood in the country? I mean, in your state, Enugu?
The current mood in the country, people are more or less still processing what has happened in the past week. People are trying to adjust their emotions, try to understand and grasp all the things that have happened. But the obvious mood is that people are emotionally downcast.
I said that word in my head just downcast. That's even how I feel.
People are tired. It's even bringing up this whole political apathy back, because a lot of people are like, you know, whoa, I've done my best.
And then you go
I
back
saw someone post, I've wasted my strength. Let me just go and chop and rest. I'm done for this. I'm never again. So you see, people are tired. People are giving up.
I mean, when you're putting in efforts and you're trying to like work towards a better country,
stay
and
positive,
you're not seeing
everything,
rewards,
you're not seeing results or anything.
Eventually, you
It's
feel like,
tiring.
okay, fuck it, I'm
But
out.
aside that, there's also something that is coming up. You're seeing that people are hopeful, because the person we are supporting is telling us, be hopeful. He has not shown us that he's downcast. He has not shown us that he's flinching.
I mean, while we were just speaking here, I saw online that P2B has given
his speech.
Yeah, because people have been clamoring, okay, address the country. And even Bats and his team, like Goodluck was advising that they should have peace talks, that PDP and APC PDP and LP should...
It's comical, to say the least.
Should congratulate the winning party.
You cannot congratulate somebody that did not win.
P2B said he won the elections, and they said they should go to court, so he's going to court.
He's going to go to court.
So we're going to be hopeful.
People are trying to be hopeful, because I saw a very funny video where, VNs are everywhere now. The guy was like, the caption of the group chat was, the group chat name was War and Protest for P2B.
Because there's been, people are saying, okay, maybe that's an option that we can take.
Guy on the group was like, who had me for this group? P2B said no war, no protest. Who had me for this group? I said, who had me for this group? When I know they listen. So it was very funny, because this man, there's something beautiful about this thing that they say, a good name is better than silver and gold, is better than wealth.
Yes.
It's better than a lot of things, because look at, this man has instilled in people. I made a post recently telling people that we have to adjust as a people, because this thing, whether you like to, it will trickle down to places you do not like, but places you're not comfortable with, it's going to trickle. So places you're not comfortable with. So this change we're looking for, when it comes, get ready to change a lot of things. The way you think about things, the way you go outside and throw a can
things on the floor,
it has to change.
Because
if you want change,
get to all levels, not just at the top. It will
trickle down to places you're not comfortable with. So this is something that you see that this man he's changing people's thought process. Usually by now, Nigeria should have been burnt. But he said be calm, and people are trying.
People are holding themselves.
People
are
trying,
ready to fight for him. People are clamoring. Give us instructions. If you
and
say
we'll
come
do
out
it.
on the streets,
We'll
Oga,
be
we are
there.
out on the streets.
I mean, Ekiti that they said gave this man votes. They protested and said, we didn't vote this man, so how are you saying that he won in Ekiti state? So that goes a lot to tell you that he's putting hope. I said the judiciary at this point, I don't think is the last hope of the common man. P2B is. Because it's safe to say that this man has shown us that there's difference. There's a clear difference. He's speaking for himself. He's speaking. His facts are speak. They are there. My man said, go and verify.
And you can
His
go and
actions are speaking for himself. So he's putting hope in people, because a lot of people were so sad. A lot of people have been crying. A lot of people have been sad. The video I think I showed you earlier of the lady that was crying, saying that she wants P2B and see that she's so sad. People are sad, but the man said keep calm, and automatically people are calming down. Now imagine his effect.
Listen. Now imagine when he's the president.
Imagine the effect he would have. But people are calming down. So in as much as it started off with sadness, we've been mourning. We are still mourning. But then in the midst of that, there's hope. It's just like having a barren land and you see a little seedling sprouting up from the deserted land. You're seeing life. That it signifies life. So he's giving us that light. He's telling us in the midst of this darkness. I know usually is in Nigeria it seems like there's no light at the end of any tunnel. But he's telling us keep moving. I'm telling you, I'm there. That has given me confidence. Chike, we're going to trust the process, because nobody said the process was going to be any easy. I mean, let's be honest.
It's Nigeria, okay.
But then we're trusting this process because it's worth the wait.
So I've been seeing a couple of videos making the circulation online. Prophecies. Everybody is now a prophet, and so far some seem to tally with what is currently going on. There is this popular one of the pastor goes on to tell us that on the inauguration 29th May, right? Okay. Yeah, that Tinubu will be arrested. What do you any thoughts?
Before the election, after the election, all of that, I've been seeing prophecies, and it's a lot.
I mean, I feel like, of course, because of what clout's chasing,
that's the thing. You can't decipher. You can't know who is really hearing something and who is
making things up.
Who they are paying to say something. Do you get?
That's another agenda.
Or who is aware or affiliated with this person, so the person knows what's happening. Do you get? Because I've seen some people that are prophets saying that Tinubu will win, and then you're friends with him. Obviously, you know he's going to rig the elections. Duh, he's going to win. Do you get? But I'm a Christian, and the way I listen to prophecies is because is the way I listen to God. I don't worship the prophet. So if it's not tallying with my own belief, I'm not going to listen to you. Do you get? I would filter what you're saying to me. Now, I've seen a couple of prophecies saying that Peter will still be the winner, and it tallies with my hope and my belief. And some of them seemingly seem real. But I've seen some, and it feels like it's all gibberish. And I just want to tell people that filter what you're listening to, because the things you hear, you feed your heart. You get? Filter the information you're getting, because these things also affect our moods. And it's also a psychological way. So if they're paying someone to prophesy, to tell you that Tinubu will be the winner all through and nothing will happen,
and he
has great plans for the country, it can affect the way you react. You can easily give up and now say, you know what, I'm tired.
Enough, the options start
maybe appealing.
You start conforming.
You get something that you're not meant to see as an option, you begin to see as the right choice.
Maybe we should try it out. You know?
Imakwa. Amarom. You get? So it's almost like we should filter
whatever prophecies
if it's not tallying with what you know
want
or what you want.
Need. Yeah.
I'm a strong believer of God, you're not going to give me what is not for me. And it's the same thing in this election. I don't want Agbado.
Nobody wants Agbado.
I want, you know,
P-O-P-O-B.
So People should filter the information they're getting, know what is tally, know who is fake, know who is not fake. Well, we'll be seeing. The prophesied, we'll be see. Actually, we'll be seeing, though, because we'll just be seeing and just hope for the best.
So, in addition to the just concluded presidential election, some states in the country will be conducting their governorship election on the 11th. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yes. I'd like Nigerians, I beg. I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult with everything that has happened. I know it's difficult to bring yourself out and say, I'm going to come out again and vote, because you would feel like
the first time.
What's the essence? What's the point of coming out, standing under the sun? I've been hearing a lot of people saying, it's not everybody's not P2B. I'm not going to do what I did for P2B. You know, the whole hassle. Everybody saying I must stay, count my vote. People feel like it doesn't matter anymore. But it matters.
On the topic of P2B, I think people have this misconception that, okay, wherever Labour Party, whatever is,
please,
logo is, that's where you put your thumbprint.
I beg, in the name of God, Nigerians, let's differentiate attaches from competent people. I mean, this entire mandate was a thing of, we are going to vote excellence. We are going to vote someone that is competent, someone that is capable, someone that is accountable, someone that has integrity. P2B is the reason for Labour Party. Labour Party did not produce P2B. P2B is the reason Labour Party
is all out
here. And I know that it's made people vote Labour Party because we want something different. But then let's not be clouded, because a lot of people are going to take advantage of this. A lot of people are going to feel like, just for instance now in Enugu, a lot of people are saying we'll vote Labour Party. And the Labour Party candidate in question is not the... He's not giving what he's meant to give. He's not representing. Do you get? He's not in the same. He's not giving the legacy we have seen with
so far.
P2B. What's instilled this joy and passion in us? He doesn't have it. Do you get? Look at the way Enugu is dirty. He was once our commissioner for environment. And then I've been hearing excuses and all of that. There's no excuse that you give me that is reason enough. That's why I like P2B. He's not giving us excuses for why things are. He's telling us these things have happened. I made them happen. No matter how uncomfortable it was, people around me didn't want to work, but I made it work. So you can't be in a government where it didn't work and you want to come under the umbrella of... People are going to cloak themselves with the sheep's clothing to look like they're part of the flock.
But they are not.
They are not. So let's not be carried away. I know it's going to be difficult to start. I'm not going to even tell anybody, you must vote this person, but it's reasonable to... We're voting competence. So even if the party you're not really... we don't want to be affiliated with, brings out somebody of competence, it's going to be wise that we still vote the person because the person is competent. For instance, now, this man, Peter Mba, I read his manifesto, and I've been seeing him clamoring for privatization of lots of companies in Nigeria, in Enugu State, saying that a lot of them are public. I know with public stuff, the serious, everything happening is just reduced. Everything, the effectiveness, everything is just watered down. And he's clamoring for a lot of change. If you read his manifesto and hear the man talk, he's sound. And his deputy as well is a sound person. In as much as the party is coming from is one that we are not happy with. The person being brought out, if we are going to judge them based on their predecessors, it means we wouldn't have accepted Sullivan in his time. But Sullivan came, in as much as his predecessor was one known for thuggery and some other things, but he gave us Sullivan, and Sullivan worked. Sullivan showed us that he's a man of his words. Sullivan has even endorsed Peter Mba, and he's somebody that is proven to be another Sullivan that is going to do a lot. So it's important that we don't lose focus. The focus here is finding somebody that is of competence, quality, and is going to be accountable. And it's very important.
To summarize your point, like you're saying that people should do their due diligence before voting.
Research on whoever you want to vote on. And come out to vote. It's important. You not coming out to vote is an avenue for rigging. you're going to be giving people the chance to rig on a platter of gold. Let's come out and vote. It's very important to do that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
With that, we've come to the end of this episode. I hope you found it interesting. If you did, please send to your friends, like and subscribe to our channel. You can leave comments of things you would like us to talk about. We are open to suggestions. Thank you.